Welcome to Good News on Entertainment. I'm so happy you're joining me tonight. I'm your host, Carly Boyette. We have a lot to get to tonight, so let's go ahead and dive in. First up, one of my favorite podcasters is getting a TV show. That's right. Annie F. Downs, the best-selling author and host of the That Sounds Fun podcast, is hosting a new show for the Wonder Project, which you can find on Prime Video. The conversation-driven show called I Gotta Ask premiered May 28th, and new episodes are still rolling out. In this new series, Annie F. Downs gets honest with people, asking the same questions you are. Questions about love, divine timing, money, ambition, grief, and so many other topics. And of course, I always love when I get some time with her as well. Before our conversation, though, let's go ahead and take a look at a preview for I Gotta Ask.
I'm Annie F. Downs, best-selling author and podcaster. And y'all, we're taking it to the next level. Give those snaps, yes. We're gonna sit down with some of my favorite experts and talk about what they know best. We're gonna be talking to friends around the dinner table and spending time with people and hearing more of their stories.
Playing chess with your life is fun.
Let me tell you where perimenopause comes in.
That's so hard.
I'm looking at y'all.
I gotta ask y'all about dating.
And we'll say, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for a relationship. Believe him.
Look away, look back.
Double back. You gotta double back.
I always tell people, audition your goals.
The reason why you want your money sitting in high yield savings accounts is because inflation.
Y'all are changing the game for me. Tell me what grief has taught you about love.
It's having the conversations that you're afraid of.
At the end of the day, all of us are dealing with not knowing how to connect.
The world can be on fire, but we have light.
Your first relationship is with yourself and God.
I am love.
God is big enough to hold these things.
That's what I gotta ask. I gotta ask. I gotta ask. I cannot wait for you to see this.
So let's talk about career-wise. Let's go there first. Because I just think this, I'm like, why? I feel like maybe the last year they've been doing podcasts on TV and that thing. Like, I'm all in. Like, I'm so thankful that there's this avenue for podcasts now.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think what we have seen is that there are seasons where people want to hear a conversation and there are times where they want to see it. And so what we're getting to do now with I Gotta Ask is have a different kind of conversation. TV allows for such a different, it just allows for such a different connection, a different amount of people, a different amount of editing. I mean, everything is it's a whole different medium. But it allows us, what we're getting to do with I Gotta Ask is reach an audience that may not be necessarily searching for faith things, that may not necessarily be searching for the particular responses they're going to get from the guests we have, but they're searching for content about how to have a better life and how to actually get what they want. And so this has been so fun to go from podcasting and video to now having an actual TV show has been a really fun transition.
Listen, I've been in TV broadcasting for 25 years. So when we can amp up the TV game, I'm all in. That's my bread and butter. That's what I love and I appreciate. So explain, because you've had the original podcast now for many years. Yeah. So how are you juggling all of this? Are the same guests going on both? Like, what can people expect as they kind of follow along with all these great conversations you're having?
Yeah, that's what's fun. Kind of the only thing that's the same between the podcast and the TV show is me. It is totally different guests. It's totally different conversations. It's a different audience with, this, it's a different audience with different goals. And this is how you do your job so beautifully too, is I have to think about the people that are streaming this on Amazon and think about the audience that is not already necessarily there. Plus think about my friends who are going to come over and watch this. And so it's a totally different thing. And so how do we balance it all? I have no idea. I mean, one of my nails has fallen off.
We have a good team. So
yes, a great team around me. So that helps. But, just like my podcasting and my speaking and my podcasting and book writing are the same, what we're getting to do with I Gotta Ask through the Wonder Project and on Amazon Prime Video is getting to have this new medium where we get to create something new. And really the through line is, well, I'm already friends with Annie through one of these other things. I bet that I will enjoy this as well. And I hope they do. But yeah.
How did I Gotta Ask? How was that already not claimed? That's a fantastic name.
The day I sat down and purchased IGottaAsk.com for $12.99. Listen, this is my big tip to all of our friends listening. If you have an idea, buy the .com for 1 year. It's cheaper than a meal, and you have at least. And so I don't know how it didn't exist,
Did
but
you
it
do that
truly
recently?
is.
Was this like 10 years ago you did
Yes,
this?
no. In 2026, I bought it recently, and it just, nobody else had it. And the same, my next book is called Don't Let That Hold You Back. And how is that not already a book? And how did Don't Let That Hold You Back still exist? .com still exists. But with I
God,
Gotta
that's
Ask,
why.
it just is,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. The Lord. I Gotta Ask is such a natural thing for me to say, just like that sounds fun, that it just was such an easy, like, I've just got to ask. I've got to ask because I cannot keep my questions to myself. And so when we were dreaming up what to call this TV show, it was like, well, the truth is, the reason we're doing this is because I got to ask. And then it was like, oh, yeah, that's it. I mean, that is literally how That Sounds Fun came about as well. The podcast title was, it's a phrase I already say. And the same is true with I Gotta Ask.
It's such a perfect, that's pretty cool that was not claimed yet. That was definitely meant for you.
Yeah.
All right, so talk about some of the guests that we can expect. And like you said, the conversation is going to be a little different than what you typically do.
Yes.
So what are those questions that you're going to be asking? What are you looking for?
Carly, you are going to love this. So here's what we're doing different. I'm in the podcast studio talking to you. I usually have 1 or 2 guests that are an expert on a subject I want to hear about. What we get to do on the TV show is it's me and 1 to 2 experts, and then one of my like normal friends. One of my like friends in my life that I just went like, you're still dating, come talk to us. You're a great person with budget, come talk to us. You're in recovery, come talk to us. And so it's people that nobody knows, but are very normal, just like me and just like our friends watching. And then we're seeing people that are celebrities that they know that have been through recovery. And they're seeing counselors, listening to counselors with their expertise. For the budget conversations, we have the founder of Beauty Blender, who 100% still owns her company. Can you imagine? And then we have Anthony O'Neill, who's like a budgeting expert, just a financial expert. And then my friend Kelly, who I've always just been impressed with how many trips she can go on. And so that's what we're doing is we're just sitting down with a group of people and all getting to talk to each other. We're eating charcuterie at every table because when you eat together, you talk more. And so when we sit down, we're talking about dating this season. We're talking about anxiety and fear with some small business women who are owning companies that have anxiety and fear, just like me, about what I own and operate. And we talk a lot in these episodes about where is God in my normal life. And so in your finances, in your building of a business, in your relationship.
So there is still a faith element to it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I just don't know how not to.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we are the
Amen.
aroma of Christ everywhere we go. And so everyone that is on the shows may not believe everything I believe, but you can't help but talk about Jesus when you're sitting around a table, and just go like, the reason that works out the way it does is the Lord. And so there's always a faith element. We're asking questions every time about like, what does it look like to do this well in a healthy way for me as a faith person or a person who is curious about faith. So, but I love that they're just like normal friends on every episode. It's just getting to sit around the table. It's what we do every meal with our people. We just decided to do it and film it with charcuterie. Yep,
What is it for you that you go, man, I can't wait for people to hear this conversation or whatever. What is it that you're trying to pull out of people for you personally?
You're going to love this, Carly. Here's what I am longing for in every episode is I want to watch the people that are around the table with me have light bulb moments because of each other's stories. Because that's really how we learn and change the best. Like whenever I think about my upbringing, I think how much was taught and how much was caught. Right? Like how much should I assume versus how much was actually taught? And we just catch so much more. And so that's what I'm looking for around the table. So you'll appreciate this is a little insider baseball. When they got to the house where we recorded in a home. When they got to the house, we didn't let any of the guests talk to each other because I wanted their whole friendship, because a lot of them didn't know each other. I wanted their whole friendship to be when we sat down at the table. And we learned that because one of the episodes, we didn't do that. And I'm not going to tell you which one, but one of them, they talked a lot before they got to me while I was still getting my hair and makeup done. And I was like, wait, y'all know too much. I missed some of the light bulb moments. So from then on, Carly, I was like, separate them.
And that happens
Bring 'em
all
in
the
the
time,
room.
I'm sure, with your podcast. I mean, that's just naturally.
Yes.
It's very hard when you are trying to do a pre-interview with the guest and then you go, well, wait a minute, I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, hit record, you know? So that's been the coolest part, because if people around the table are having light bulb moments in real time, the people watching at home are going to have them too. And so that's what I want. I want people to finish an episode and feel like that was a fun 25 minutes of my life. I'm a little bit different. And I wish my friend would watch this so we could talk about it. I'm going to tell them to watch this so we can talk about this. That's my hope.
And are you still on tour as well?
Yeah, girl, we're on tour this summer. Can you even imagine my life, Carly? Thanks be to God, because the problems I have today are problems I was begging God for a decade ago.
Right. Well, that's
Right.
what they say. Remember to thank God for these, what we're living and how they were prayers
that's right.
that were
That's
answered
right.
many years ago.
I'm on tour for a couple weeks, which lines up great with these 6 episodes releasing, because every weekend I'm getting to see people in real life who are getting to watch the show the Thursday night it releases before I'm seeing them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on the tour. And so it's very, very fun. I'm so grateful. I mean, who gets to do this? Someday, Carly, you and I hate to break this to you, but someday people will not walk up to us in public anymore. And someday people won't remember and recognize me in public. And someday my work will be important to people, but I won't be making it anymore. So right now, I go, man, I'm so grateful for today. I'm so grateful.
It's amazing, I think, when you are in a season where you're doing what God has called you to do. Torrin Wells, I think, is a great example of this, because I think, I don't know how he pastors a church and then goes on to, and like he's always talking about it, he's like, if you're in your calling, God will give you enough to sustain you.
That's right.
And that's it. And if it comes time where you have to back away from some things, and you do that, God will make that evident, as well. But
yeah, it's also why Sabbath matters. I mean, I am working really hard. My team is working really hard, and we still take a day off every week on the weekend to do nothing. And we still are taking 2 weeks off in July, because we say work hard, pray hard, rest hard, and play hard. And we are doing all 4 between now and the end of the year.
Oh, well, I'm so thankful that you have hit record and letting us again just be a fly on the wall. That's why these conversations are so fun, I think, and why people love podcasts and this format of not necessarily so scripted, things.
Yeah.
So you do a great job at it. So thank you for pouring your heart and soul in all these years into these, and again, helping people have these light bulb moments.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just so excited for you that personally too, your personal life that you've announced on social media. I hate to out you on it, but
no, very engaged. Very engaged.
I know. And I
So-
just am so thrilled for you. So
Thank you.
such
Listen,
a treat and a joy to get some time with you again.
The thing I like to remind because I'm 45, right? Never been married before. And this man was worth the wait for me. And also the life God gave me before he came along was worth living. I wouldn't do anything different.
No. Well, enjoy this season. I hope to get to talk with you again soon. And man, thanks so much, Annie.
Thank you. I'm so glad to see you, Carly.
Again, new episodes of I Gotta Ask are still rolling out, with the last 2 being released on June 11th. And fun fact, Dallas and Amanda Jenkins from The Chosen are executive producers behind the show. Okay, speaking of Wonder Project, have you heard about the new miniseries out about Moses? The Old Stories Moses is actually a 3-part companion special from the world of House of David. This show is so good. And if you haven't caught up on House of David yet, no worries. You can jump right into this Moses series and not miss a beat. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at that show.
Tell me what happened.
I saw fire. A bush. Flames wrapping round every branch, every leaf. As if the fire was alive. And I heard a voice.
What did he say?
He knew my name. He told me that I must return to Egypt, to the place of my birth, to where my people are in bondage as slaves. Let me tell you a story my father told me. A Hebrew woman's son was raised in generosity in this house.
I will name you Moses, for I drew you from the water.
This very sword given to him. And he used it to betray us all. I was foolish then. But now I come on behalf of a God who needs no sword. If you resist him, you'll suffer a fate worse than theirs. I will never let your people go. Moses, turn around and save my boy!
Over 1 million people. How will we do this? Behold the power of your God.
Again, the old stories, Moses, is streaming now on the Wonder Project streaming service, which you can find on Prime Video. Episodes are less than 30 minutes, too, so I think it's a perfect one to watch with the entire family. As for House of David, that's a great series to watch, too, this summer as well, if you haven't already. The first 2 seasons are already out, and the creator, John Irwin, says a third is on the way. Now, if you love the story of David but want something a little more kid-friendly, make sure you watch the animated movie David. The music in it is phenomenal. The film released nationwide in theaters at the end of 2025 and then was available to watch at home through the Angel app earlier this year. But now the film will be available to reach a whole new audience through Netflix. That's right, as of June 3rd, David is now streaming on Netflix. And because I personally love this movie so much, I thought it was a great time to revisit my conversation with the creator behind this film, Phil Cunningham from Sunrise Studios.
I'm just a shepherd. We already have a king.
We will crush your kingdom!
Those are fighting words. Bring out Goliath!
He's huge.
Searching for the answer in the moments I'm afraid.
Yep, we're dead.
If you want the secret of freedom and feeling alive.
I told you.
He's brave. He is true. No.
He's so humble, too.
Come on and follow the light.
David! You have stolen the hearts of my people!
I have never wanted the throne.
Lies!
What happens now? You stolen David. Fight to the death.
I never asked for this.
The true battle is not against flesh and blood, but in our hearts.
I'm a shepherd. What can I do but look after my sheep? Come on and follow the
So, this movie could have been so easily just a film about David and Goliath. There's enough there. There's enough substance, I think, to maybe just kind of do it around the core of that story.
No.
This film is so much more than that. Talk a little bit about the intent and the purpose kind of around that and showing a little bit. And I kept telling my 6-year-old, like, this isn't even, the full story of even David either.
Yeah, that's such a great question. Very quickly to dive into that, the idea for this film, the vision for this film started 30 years ago. I was canoeing down a river called the Zambezi River. You could canoe for 4 days, 5 nights, wouldn't see a human being. And just looking up at the thunderstorms, the stars, the elephant, the buffalo, the lion, I just fell in love with God. He's like this beautiful, adventurous heart of God, this joy, this kindness, this beauty. And I was reading David's story. I found in David, son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, it says in the book of Acts. And I was like, wow, if we could tell a story on David's life, it'll give us a glimpse of God's heart. Like, it's almost like an on-ramp onto God's heart. And that's where it started 30 years ago. We won't have time to go through the whole story, but that was at the heart of it. And David, the story that we're telling goes from when David's a shepherd boy through to when he's king. And there's a couple of quick facets I'll mention. The one is David, as we know, is a flawed human being like all of us. But what I love about him is when he's happy, he tells God. When he's fearful, he tells God. When he's confused, he just says it out. Like you've seen the movie, one of the songs is "Why God?" He's not scared just to say it out. And I just love that childlike faith he's got, that no matter where he's at, if he's stuck up a tree or wherever he's, he can call out to his dad and ask for help. And so I think that's what I hope people get out of the movie. It's like, wow, you can relate to God like that. That's incredible, So that's one aspect, and I just think that's beautiful, and can hopefully people, as they watch the movie, they can draw on that.
Yeah. The other thing I loved, which we briefly hinted at before we hit record here, is really it's a love story. You could have done. I mean, there's a lot of different love stories in David's life.
Yeah.
But the one that's really highlighted here that I think families are going to love is between him and his mom. Yeah. And the encouragement that the mom gives him, which I think is such an example as a mom watching the film, is like, man, I want to be like her. And I want to encourage my kids to have, that love of God. And even when we don't have things all figured out, there's a beautiful song about that as well. Yeah. Man, it just spoke to me. I love that. I'm so glad that there's that story angle in there.
Yeah. And just to speak to that, a lot of it came from my own mother. She was an incredible person. So is my father, but just talking about her for a moment. She was so inspirational. When we were 16, 14 years old, she'd say, Phil, by your age, David was fighting Goliath. Daniel was in the lion's den. You need to get out there and have an adventure and trust God. I was like, she was really amazing how she inspired us. And then I was reading in the Psalms about where David says, I serve you as my mother did. He literally talks about his mother at that moment, which is really interesting to me. And we know his great-grandmother was Ruth. And I was like, wow, so often in movies, moms are given this very stereotypical corner where it's like the protective version of a mom. And of course, a mom has to be protective. You look at a lioness with her cubs, protective. But there's so much more. And I was just thinking, I wanted to make a movie which celebrated mothers and their relationship with their sons and daughters. And I just thought, it's authentic. David loved his mom. It's clear in the Psalms. She obviously had a huge impact on his life. And I just thought, how cool if we can tell a movie that really celebrates moms and the amazing role they play in the world, and on the earth. And I think this movie does that, which I'm excited about. Yeah.
Let's talk about the music in it too. And she's as good as Phil Wickham is. And man, I'm so excited. Man, when he comes in and his voice comes in, it's just amazing. But talk about David's mom too. I mean, the voices between both of the characters, the voice actors behind those. I mean, what an amazing cast and talent you have with such epic music.
Thank you. And we were just saying, if they could make a musical, The Greatest Showman, on P.T. Barnum's life, shame on us if we can't make a great musical on David's life. We know he wrote half the Psalms. He's an amazing songwriter and musician himself, So when we went to cast, we weren't looking for marketing power. We were looking for the most beautiful voice to fit that character. And to speak about David's mom in the movie, it's a lady called Miri Masika from Israel. She's super famous in Israel. I mean, really uber famous. We didn't know this, by the way. We just did the audition and we're like, that's David's mom. That's the voice we're looking for. And when she got you, she said, my daughter said, I'm sure the only reason they got you is because you're famous. I said, we didn't even know you were famous. so then she was delighted.
That's a bad thing, right? It was meant for her to have that.
Yeah. And same with Phil Wickham, and by the way, what a wonderful, all of our cast were amazing to work with. But just to speak about him, we found out that a lot of singers can't act. We actually auditioned a lot of singers, and there's not many singers who can act, and there's not many actors who can sing. But Phil had this amazing ability to translate from being a singer into an actor. But most importantly, he brought this beautiful spirit that we were looking for, a spirit of humility and adventure and fun. And that's when we heard his voice, like, that's what we need. So it wasn't... the whole casting process was the right voice for the right character, not about marketing. It so happens, of course, Phil's great at helping us market the movie, but that's not why he's in the movie. It's because he is David.
One of the things I love about the film, too, you have this other series right now, House of David, that's doing really well. And I think this movie does the same thing, it's going to get people interested in, again, learning more about David's life and about all the different chapters and things that he went through. That's pretty amazing that we can do that through an animated film.
Well, and on that note, Phil Wickham was actually telling me in the one screening he did, there was a little boy in front of him, and he turned to his mom, he said, "Is all that in the Bible?" So he was like so excited to go read the Bible after that, which I think is cool. And on that note, one thing we were super passionate about was, if you take comic book fans, you can't take Superman's cape and put it on Spider-Man. Your comic book fans will get upset. How much more the faith community? You can't just take a Bible story and just mix and match it how you like. We really want it to be built on the foundation of the Bible and the real story, and then you build off that, not just go and create your own version, And so that's one thing we tried to do with the David movie. Of course, we had to condense it, but we really wanted it to be true and authentic to Scripture, not just go off on our own mission. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned The Greatest Showman, and I really, when I got finished watching this, I thought, we need this on Broadway. This is just so perfect. I can picture the costumes, the design, the set, the music. I mean, it's right there. I feel like this would be the easiest thing to get started.
Yeah, and I love that you say that, because that's in my heart and in my mind. If you talk about The Lion King, so this is about the reach. I mean, I think The Lion King Broadway musical, it's done way more than the movie ever did financially, and that's not the point, but it shows you how many people have watched The Lion King Broadway musical. And in my mind, if the movie does well, it's obviously the movie's got to do well first, but then how awesome would it be to translate into a Broadway musical? I think it would be amazing.
All signs are pointing that way. I'm just so excited about the future and where God is going to take this thing.
Thank you. Yeah, we're so excited. And when we watched his faithfulness over 30 years and just so many setbacks, but just he's been so faithful to keep the movie and reach this point. Yeah.
When the shadows come, we won't run from the fight. So come on and follow the light. Come on and follow. Come on and follow the light. Come on and follow the light.
Again, David is now available to watch on Netflix. The soundtrack is amazing too, which I really do hope will make it on Broadway one day. Well, that's all for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'm Carly Boyette. If you have any questions about what you saw tonight or anything you've seen on CTN recently, just go to ctnonline.com. Meanwhile, I look forward to seeing you next week right here on your Christian Television Network.